Well, on our grain trade, we definitely have a softer tone today. Let's get you updated on our, let's start with our corn market. How about that? We'll go to the corn with our quotes provided by Bar Chart. December corn at 558.5 is now 6.5 cents lower. It is 4.5 cents off of our earlier low, and we're basically a nickel from our overnight high, so it's stuck in the middle. Sound familiar? On the soybean trade, we have November now 20 cents lower at 13.33 1/4, even after we had over 2 million tons of soybeans sold last week, and then we had another batch this morning, about 400,000 tons, and yet we're going down 20 cents. Where do you think the fundamental support is in the soybean market? Looking at the wheat, we have December in Chicago, 4.5 lower at 746 3/4 right now. It's in the middle of its trading range. In Kansas City wheat, you have December down 7 1/4 at 729.5. Same story there, right in the middle of its high and low. And if you look at Minneapolis, spring wheat December down just 1.5 now at 909.5 per bushel. In the cotton market, we have new crop December kind of getting walloped here today. It's down 158 points at 93.25 cents per pound. Well, with that in mind, let's switch over to the phone line and welcome Robin Cross of StoneX in Chicago. He is our regular contributor when it comes to our lumber market. And boy, what a ride that has been. Robin, I'm looking at a 6-month September futures contract on the a 6-month graph of it here on the screen right now. And you can tell September lumber is now $6.50 higher at $474.50, but what a ride it has been. It was over $1,500 there at one point in May. Describe what is going on here and what the overall economy has to do with this market.
Definitely will do. Well, first of all, good morning and happy first week of school to all the parents out there. I know they're probably all enjoying the quiet. So lumber's massive break definitely continues, as you alluded to, right? Right now, the market has been down 13 of 15 weeks. So needless to say, this is the biggest break in history of probably any market, just like our rally was probably the biggest rally of any market out there, comparatively speaking, right? So lumber went from $1,733 to yesterday's new low of $452. On the futures, that's a loss of 1,281 points. Or if you sold the one lot at the high and bought it at the low, you made $140,910. So it was a massive trade, 150 grand trade on a one lot. I never thought I would say today or even speak these words. So in real money, as we go over a lot, a train car really roughly equates to 4 single-family homes. So the real value of a $1,733 lumber was about $190,000, just under $191,000. And to put that in perspective, $452 lumber is around $49,000. So you lost a substantial amount of money in here, And, I warned traders and consumers several times that a 300% gain in any market, especially lumber, is not sustainable. Like, I don't care what the reasoning is. You really got to, kind of tough up and sell these markets when they're out of control like that. But now on the flip side, the market's so oversold in here, I think guys would be foolhardy not to, look at covering these jobs and really re-engage in the housing market. We're still underbuilt as a whole. And yesterday we had housing starts and permits come out. So housing starts came out down 7% at 1.53 million. And that's reflective of the high price lumber. That report's always in the rears. So naturally the starts are going to go way down, due to the 300% cost increase. Building permits, though, were up 2.6%, and I expect that to continue to rise because of now the cheap price of lumber. But the problem is still materials on the other end. That's my builder's biggest complaint to me is like, yeah, okay, Rob, we got the lumber cheap enough now, but we still can't get windows, we still can't get siding, et cetera, et cetera. So there's still some issues out there. I think that will stop a massive run up in housing or building. It's going to take some time yet so they get some of these materials replenished. But I do believe that this is value here. If you look at the charts, when we were on the air together in 2018, and I'm just going to kind of go off the cuff here, we got up to, which you remember, 659. But since then, we only violated 400 two times, or 2 times that actually held. Once for the COVID low, 250, which we were on the air for, and then we had 380 after that. But I would consider this major support. Lifetime average of lumber comes in around $355. Obviously, with this year's gain, that jumped it up a little bit. But, the real tradable market, so you're close to that, right? And Lastly, we have on the lumber side, lumber seems to be everywhere, it really does, and it's cheap. But I can't help but feel that the mills are really trying to unload all this high-priced stuff, clear the decks so then they could firm up their prices. You know, the first and foremost is they need to get an order file, and that we do not have. So the premium lumber may not hold right now, but, you know, you have this built-in premium, I think, due to the such oversold nature of the market. And that's about I got. I know I threw a lot at you this morning, Bud, but
that's a lot of information, and I appreciate all the research you do on that, and we always look forward to this each and every week. Robin, hope you have a good week out there. Robin Cross of Stone X in Chicago. We'll pause here. We'll get you updated on our livestock trade coming up.